Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. First off, I hope you had a great holiday. Welcome back. This video, of course, is to start our new year, new week module. But this week, of course, we don't have a module, we have just an exam. So coming back, I know this is going to be a little challenging coming back from break, jumping into an exam. That's why I'm going to give you a review here in a minute. So this will give you a chance to study and make sure you're ready. It's not due till January 7th by end of day, so you have all week to prepare and to take this exam. It's only 25 questions, so 25 questions, short answer, true and false, and multiple choice. So it's not too terribly challenging. However, this can be a little challenging from the perspective of, it's your first exam in this class, so that's why I'm going to do this review. It'll help you out and make sure you're ready. So hopefully this will prepare you in the right way. Again, if you have any questions prior to the exam, please let me know. You got to navigate, of course, to the course content. I'm highlighted over the exam here, but you have to download Lockdown Browser. So if you have any issues with that, reach out and let me know. But most of you should know how to use Lockdown Browser. So download Lockdown Browser, have that ready. The password is PTA 2024. So you should be ready from that regard when you open it and with Lockdown Browser initiated. That means it can be open book, so you can have your book with you, but you cannot have multiple screens open at once on your computer. So make sure you have Lockdown Browser ready to go. Make sure you take it by the 7th in the day to avoid, of course, any late penalties there. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the test per se. You want to know, of course, laws that operate to protect patients and the public. So this is a checklist I'm going to give you. I would have notes here ready to go. Take notes on this so you can study the right material. It's going to be in all the chapters prior to, of course, this exam. So everything we went over from Module 1 to Module 6. So know about laws that protect patients and the public. Know about what a reasonable person, what that standard is. Also know what standard of care is. What about a patient's Bill of Rights? What is a patient's Bill of Rights? We've talked about the Bill of Rights in general, but what are our patient's Bill of Rights? So remember, it explains legal and ethical rights and acknowledges the patient's right to choose, consent to, and refuse treatment. So a little bit about that there. Know a little bit about medical professionals and licensed medical professionals. That's a kind of a broad term there, but it's not too terribly difficult. Of a couple of questions. Know about licensure laws. What are licensure laws? Hospital license, license from state boards. What are licensure laws? Know about unions. What are unions? People can join unions for many reasons, right? What are some of those reasons? Know about unlicensed personnel and licensed personnel. We talked about that. A couple short questions. Know about different federal acts that are out there, right? So we talked about some acts in our couple of chapters, a couple of federal acts. So this is going to be a difficult question. I'm going to kind of give you a heads up on it. So go and do some research on some federal acts that are out there and what they're about, what they're meant to help with. One example is the Elder Justice Act of 2009. So that could be one of the three that you list, but know a couple of federal acts and what they're meant to protect. All right. Know about Medicare and Medicaid. What are the difference between the two, Medicare and Medicaid? Know about civil and criminal law. Know what testimony. What is testimony? Know about the Constitution and the preamble, right? What about the amendments, the articles, all those kind of good things of the Constitution? What is the Constitution? Know what a deposition is. What is a deposition? Know about the differences in Congress too. So you have representatives and you have senators. How many representatives, how many senators? Know the difference between the two. Know about Congress. How about the statute of limitations? We talked about that. What is the statute of limitations? There's a couple of true or false questions related to healthcare professionals. So who can be supervised? Of course, who's in charge? Usually doctors are, right? But there's a supervision law that's out there. So make sure you're aware of that. Know about malpractice insurance too. What is malpractice insurance and what does it cover? right. What about a couple of questions that I want you to think about? This is a confusing question too, a little bit of a heads up, but um, the question is in regards to product liability, right? Product liability. So when you think about product liability, what product would a provider use in a healthcare setting that might be challenging in relation to maybe it fails, and who would have liability with that product liability? Interesting question. What is verbal and nonverbal communication? The difference between the two? If you've taken a communications class, you've of course heard about this before, but it comes up, of course, in law as well. All right. All right, know about medical malpractice lawsuits. What are medical malpractice lawsuits and how do they impact a physician or a healthcare entity for that matter? Um, know about ethical conflicts. What are ethical conflicts and what are the few that we discussed in these couple of chapters that we've been over? Ethical conflicts. Basic common sense questions, so when you read them, think about them. Know what a shortage and a surplus is in relation to staffing units and also in relation to ICU beds. So there's some interesting questions there. All right. There's a random question, a bit of history that you had to really read the chapters to remember this. So it's interesting to think about. So make sure you read the chapters. I'm not going to give you the answer to that one because it's kind of a challenging one. All right, know what the Uniform Anatomical Gift Act is. The Uniform Anatomical Gift Act. All right. And that is it. So 25 questions, a lot of different things in relation to the chapters that we've been over. There's not going to be any surprises in here. I'm actually going to go through it again and double check and make sure it's things that we have reviewed already. But if you have any trouble with this exam in relation to opening it, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help you. And of course, take your time prior to taking the exam because it can be a little tricky. You want to take your time, read through it. You have an hour to do it. So just reach out if you run into any trouble. Make sure you take it near the end of the week so you have time to review the work prior. And if you need anything prior to that, prior to opening the exam or starting it, just let me know. Again, I'm happy to have you guys back, and I'm looking forward to a great rest of the semester with you. And if you run into any challenges, reach out. I'm here to help and support you. Thanks so much.